Hello learners, welcome to today's session. Today we are talking about natural hazards. What are natural hazards? How do they occur? What are the environmental causes behind the occurrence of these hazards? What are the effects? And what can be done to minimize the impact of these natural hazards? Learners, you must have heard the terms natural hazards, natural disasters. And these two terms are used synonymously. However, there's a difference. When we say natural hazards, means natural events which occur because of natural activities but are more so today because of anthropogenic disturbances. Whenever there is a change in the natural setting, the natural events taking place. For example, earthquakes occurring, volcanoes occurring, floods, droughts. These are all natural hazards. They occur because of natural processes or maybe because of changes in the landscape, changes caused due to anthropogenic disturbances, man's activities into the ecosystems, into atmospheric conditions. They are natural hazards. But these natural hazards become disasters when they cause a loss to life, or they damage the property, or bring economic consequences, economic loss, suffering in the form of various diseases. It is a disaster. So, earthquake, when it occurs, when a heavily populated area, it converts into a disaster. Floods, when occur and take away with them villages along with them, or lot of human population affected, losing life, losing agriculture, damage to infrastructure, when it occurs, it becomes a disaster. So, however, such type of natural events occur naturally. But when we say that they are disasters, we take into account that what is the impact of these natural hazards on the lives of the people, or on the enjoyment of their life, or on their livelihoods, or economics. So, natural disasters are classified into various types. You must be knowing about the different hazards, different disasters occurring. Very common are floods, cyclones, earthquakes, as I said, landslides which occur in the hilly areas. They are of various kinds, of various magnitude and of different scale. But broadly, we can classify the natural disasters into three types. There are certain air-related disasters. For example, cyclones can be termed into this category. Heat waves are a kind of air-related disaster. There are certain water-related disasters. For example, floods come into this category, droughts come into this category, and earth-related disasters, that means which are caused because of changes taking place in the earth crust. So, volcanoes, earthquakes, landslides, they are earth-related disasters. This is just a broad classification to make you aware that different components of the environment, different systems of the earth also lead to different types of disasters, cause different natural hazards in different geographical terrains under different climatic zones. However, this is also true that one type of disaster may be caused because of the pressures from several subsystems. So, a disaster or a hazard may be of one category, maybe it is water related or maybe it is land related, but it may be aggravated because of some other factor, because it is occurring in the natural habitats, it is occurring in the natural ecosystems. So, flood, you may say that flood is a hazard which is related to water, but then it may be influenced by air, it may be influenced by the type of the geography where such type of heavy rainfall is occurring. So, that is why we have more of urban floods in the urban areas today. So, it is waterborne, but it is more pronounced because of the changes in the landscapes which are occurring because of human activity. However, there are certain disasters which are man-made, which are anthropogenic, which occur because of, you can say, toxic substances, which occur because of industrial events, because of accidents. So, under this category, under anthropogenic disasters, we have industrial accidents taking place in the industries, leakage of certain gases or spilling of certain chemicals, such type of effects taking place, accidents occurring because of slip, because of electricity, because of some other factor. So, industrial accidents, and many times several workers lose their life working in an industry, maybe because of outdated equipments, because of power, because of some chemical. So, industrial accidents are very common, and you must have heard about the Bhopal gas tragedy, which is a kind of an industrial accident which took place and which took lives of thousands of people and also impacted many generations. Similarly, wars taking place between different countries, riots occurring, terrorist activities, these are all anthropogenic hazards, anthropogenic disturbances. Similarly, toxic spills, it is very common to see and such type of accidents taking place in the water bodies where certain chemicals are being released into the water because of accident, because of collision, because of leakage, certain toxic substances, you can say, being released into air, water or any other system. It is also a kind of an anthropogenic disaster which has a long-term consequence. Learners, it is unfortunate that India is prone to disasters of various kind. If you look into the geography of India and you see that there are hills also, mountains also, coastal region also, and drought prone regions also. So, we are vulnerable to disasters of several kinds. We are vulnerable to earthquakes, we are vulnerable to landslides, floods also occur over here, earthquakes are also occurring at various places. So, because of geoclimatic conditions which are different in different locations, and because of socio-economic conditions also, because we have a high population, we are less prepared, poverty is very high, lack of suitable planning measures are being taking place. So, if you look into the different realms of India, for example, Indo-Gangetic Plain, the Himalayas, Central Deccan Plateau, the eastern and the western coast, the different islands, or when you look into this and when you read about it, you will find that we have almost all the types of disasters, natural hazards taking place during the course of the year. According to Global Climate Risk Index Report 2019, it clearly stated that India is the 14th most vulnerable country in the world because of extreme weather related events taking place. So, the new normal today is the extreme weather, extreme heat, extreme cold, extreme rains. This is the new normal, and it is more pronounced today because of climate change related risk which we are having today. So, therefore, floods are more extreme today. There are months together at certain places where there is no rainfall, lot of instances of cloud burst taking place, landslides occurring, and also along with this, the anthropogenic hazards are also commonly occurring at various places. For example, if you look into the studies which have been conducted, it is clearly stated that floods are the most common disasters which occur in our country. Around 42% of the total calamities which occur, floods are very common in our country. And this is very clearly visible also. You must have witnessed floods occurring during monsoon times in our various cities, in villages, in our agricultural lands. Lot of damage to all these places occur because of floods. Then cyclones have a probability of 30%, landslides 10%, earthquakes 5%, and droughts 2%. So, this explains that what is our vulnerability towards different natural hazards in our country. Now, let us talk about each one of the natural hazard looking into their causes, effects and the relief measures. So earthquakes, you very well know the earth is made up of 7 plates. When there is a collision between different plates, whenever there is a spacing or contraction occurring of these plates, there is a visible movement on the earth's surface. Earthquakes are unpredictable. They vary in magnitude from small to higher level, and depending upon their Richter scale measurement, they cause damage. So there are certain earthquakes which are very mild, which are not even felt properly, but on the other hand, there are instances of severe earthquakes taking place in our country which are very high on the scale of Richter, and therefore they bring lot of damage. So there is a destruction of life, property, communication, roads, dams. So when it occurs on a large scale, it has been seen that it causes lot of damage to property, and also various human lives are at stake because of the unforeseen nature of the earthquakes, which we already know. So it is important that earthquake proof or earthquake zoning is conducted. Earthquake prone regions should be studied properly, and immediate relief measures must be taken if such type of instances are occurring. Similarly, landslides. There are natural as well as the man-made causes of this natural hazard. When it is the natural landslide, means when because of some particles being let loose, the big stones, they become unstable in the hilly areas and come down. Because of landslides, accidents occur, people get killed, cattle damage also occurs. But why we say that landslides are also a feature of man-made hazards? Because of increased industrial activity in the hilly areas, because of deforestation, because of various construction work which is very rampant in the hilly areas. So we are making the geology of these places fragile. We are moving the particles, we are making them unstable, and the result is that during heavy rains, during high speed winds, there are accidents related to landslides very common in the hilly areas of our country. It leads to destruction of the rural as well as the urban habitation, and it is also not that much predictable, but we should avoid such type of encroachment in the hilly areas. Deforestation in the fragile ecosystems must be stopped so that we are able to protect our lands, our cattle, human life and other properties by the adverse effect of these landslides. Likewise, as I said, floods means water on land, water at that place where it is not supposed to be. Most of the times we confuse heavy rainfalls with floods. However, it is not so. Heavy rainfall results in floods only when there is no proper drainage systems. So, in today's times, because it does not rain, it pours nowadays. We have less number of rainy days, but we have a very high volume of rains in those 3-4 hours or 3-4 days. So, it results into condition like floods. Floods may be one of the causes of landslides also, which we discussed just now. So, floods are of various kinds. There are flash floods, for example, when the dam is broken or when there is a cloud burst taking place. So, flash floods occur very quickly, even after the onset of rainfall. After 5 hours or 6 hours, the rainfall or the rain becomes too heavy, and this is the condition which we term as flash floods. Means immediate when heavy rainfalls, heavy to very heavy rainfalls, when they start taking place at one place, this results into the condition known as flash floods, which are extremely destructive. They uproot the trees. Also, buildings are destroyed. You can say the construction work which are weak, that comes to at stake, and therefore we find a lot of problems occurring, lot of problems, particularly in the urban areas. We are finding it difficult to manage such kind of floods. Then there are river floods when because of heavy rainfall, because of extreme sediment deposition, both the banks of the river, when the water level crosses the level which is set, and on the banks of the river when the water starts coming out, it is known as the river floods. River floods are very common in villages, in forests. We find that because of the overflowing of the rivers. Now, overflowing has occurred because the depth of these rivers has gone down over the period of years because of sediment deposition. And sediments have come because of deforestation. So, when there is no trees in the upstream, when the rainfall occurs, the sediments are brought along, they settle inside the water bodies, or you can say they settle inside the bed of these rivers, and even when there is a moderate rainfall, it can cause river floods because already the water table has been, or you can say the level of the water is high because of lot of sediment deposition in these water bodies. Then there are coastal floods which occur in the coast whenever there is a cyclone, whenever because of some other factors the heavy rainfall occurs in the coastal regions. Coastal floods are very common. Now, another term is urban floods. We are more concerned today because of urban floods, because in the urban areas there is no drainage and water comes on the roads. During monsoon, especially from June to September, we are having the monsoon months in our country where the rainfall occurs from moderate rainfall to extreme rainfall. And in such cases, because of poor drainage system, because of rampant construction, because of deposition of plastic-like substances in the water bodies, in the sewers, even when there is a moderate rainfall, there are quite a good chances that it will result into urban floods. And in the urban areas, we have an infrastructure which we require 24/7. Our communication, our transportation, everything gets affected because water enters inside the buildings, it enters inside the you can say in the roads, everywhere water is accumulated. Even at the public places like airports and all, we find that water accumulation takes place because of poor drainage system. So these are urban floods which are more concerned today as we urbanize improperly, as we urbanize in an unplanned manner. There are possible chances that in times to come, the severity of urban floods will increase manifold. So, what causes floods? They may be caused because of deforestation, as I just now mentioned, that because of the cutting of the trees, the soil is let loose. That soil or the sediments come along with the rainfall and enter into the lakes, rivers, other water bodies. Like with urbanization, which is very common, most of the floods which occur in Indian cities during monsoon is attributed because of urbanization which is not proper, because of waste disposal here and there, concretization, changes in the river course, when because of dam construction, because of other factors, we make construction in the course of the river. Naturally, when there is a heavy rainfall, it will result into the floods in the nearby areas. Dams, as I mentioned, man-made impediments occurring because of construction activities, you can say, whenever a building is constructed, some other, or in the floodplain zone on the rivers, if you are making something, if you are doing any construction work, if you are converting into some sort of public place or something, there are chances because we have disturbed, we have come in the path of the river, and in times of heavy rainfall, it may result into floods. So we can manage floods by plantation, afforestation, proper floodplain zoning. This is very important, that which places are more prone to floods, how can we properly and forecasting also. This can be also one of the measures to reduce the effect of the floods, because if you are able to predict the rainfall, we can always move the villagers from that place. We can always take some relief measures. And we can also go for proper drainage management in order to reduce the impact of the floods. Then cyclones. You must have heard about cyclones. What are cyclones? That they are known by different names. We call them typhoons, we call them hurricanes, we call them tornadoes also it is known as in the West Africa. So there are tropical cyclones, there are temperate cyclones. It is a low pressure area and which is accompanied by very high speed winds and also rains in certain cases. So because of the high speed of winds and because of water which comes along with it, it causes damage, especially in the coastal areas. To minimize the impact of cyclones, forecasting and warning is very essential so that the fishermen, the people who live in the coastal areas, the people whose livelihoods is dependent on these places, we can warn them and we can always make a shift arrangement so that when the cyclone is over, we can get back to normal. So it has a great potential of damaging the infrastructure, particularly the network, the telecommunications, the transportation. In the past, India has seen several severe cyclones which had a great impact on the infrastructure, on environment, on other biota, on the lives of the people. So we need to take suitable measures to protect ourselves, or you can say so that we can minimize the impact of cyclones. Heat waves has been recently added in the category of the natural hazards. It was not so earlier, but nowadays we say that heat waves are, especially during summer months, from April to July, we find that there are very high temperatures, particularly in the northern states of our country. Very high temperatures result into several heat related ailments like heat cramps, heat strokes. These are very common nowadays, which is fine. So in the plain regions, if the temperature rises above 40-45 degrees, and in the hilly areas, if the temperature rises above 30 degrees, we term this as heat waves. So they are abnormally high temperatures. They have an effect on the metabolism of organisms, and in certain cases the person may go into coma, and it is all occurring because of the deforestation, because of change in the climatic conditions, because of increase in temperature caused because of various anthropogenic factors. So learners, in this session we have had a glimpse of different types of natural disasters. These are naturally occurring events. They occur naturally at several places, but the severity and magnitude of these disasters in today's times has been more pronounced because of the fact that we are living in climate risk world. Our precipitation patterns, our nature of soil, our meteorological conditions, the type of habitation in which we are living, everything has changed. And because of which, what is happening is that these natural events are coming up with great force. They have a lot of damage causing potential to our agriculture, to our lives. And in this, it is very important to look back and see that how we can minimize the impact of these natural disasters. There are poor people who suffer a lot because whenever such type of events take place, if the drought is pronounced, if the floods are severe, it is most of the times we have seen that the poor are more vulnerable. We must take adequate measures to see that we are able to minimize the impact of these natural hazards. Thank you.